transformation expert. I am so excited to be launching my brand new online TV program, Barefoot Conversations with Magdalene. So before I go any further, who is Magdalene and what's Magdalene about? My business has two strengths. I am the CEO of Music Relief Foundation, where we work with young people to unleash their creative spirit. I am also the CEO of Magdalene at Nike, where I work with women to transform their lives and their businesses in everything they want to do. So why am I doing this today? It's been a journey for me, and I'm so excited to be here today because if someone had said to me this time last year, oh, Magdalene, you're going to be having your own TV show, I was like, oh yes, maybe sometime in the future, but this is really exciting for me. Because you have the dream, you have the passion, you have everything within you, but you just need someone to help you to bring it out. And someone did that. Someone helped me to bring it out. And thus today, the 28th of February, what befitting time for me to launch this program. What am I talking about today? I'm going to be talking about accents. I'm going to be talking about your accent, my accent, and how accents hinders people from achieving what they want to achieve in life. I'll give you, this is from my personal story, but as I've gone along the way, I've seen how it has also hurt so many people and hindered them from progressing in life. Before I move on any forward, I just want to say something to you. My show is for 30 minutes every Tuesday mornings from 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. every Tuesday morning. So please do join in with me. You can catch the replay because it's on YouTube, obviously, but I would love to have that interaction with you. There's nothing that beats life, just having a conversation with someone else out there and they're giving you input, and because that fuels you as well as you're going along your journey and you're having a discussion. So it's like we're both on this journey together. So I'm talking, you're talking back to me. So I would love to have your conversations. I would love to have your messages whilst on air. So let's do this together. I'm not the person that's saying it's all about me. It's all about us. How do we work together? That's what I'm about. So accents. What about your accents? What about your accent? So guys, it's 11 a.m. so it's kind of mid-morning, almost lunchtime. So what are you doing? If you got your cup of tea, get your cup of tea, get your cup of coffee, your hot chocolate, whatever you have. I've got my cup of tea here and I'm ready to go, and I would love to hear from you. So let's do it. Let me just sip a bit and then we'll go from there. Okay, what about your accent? So what about your accent? Let me just give you a brief. Coming from my hometown, Nigeria, as a confident young lady. So I came into the shores of this country back in 92. So you're going to do the math here. I came in 92 at 10 years old. So I came in and finished off my primary school before starting secondary school in the same year. I was a confident young lady. I was always thrusted in a leadership position to be leading my peers. So I was always doing that, the one always standing in front, leading my peers at church for Sunday school and teaching them and speaking to them in different things. But then I came from that. I came to this country. My parents brought myself and my younger sister to the UK for greener pastures. Nothing wrong with that. But what I found very offensive, what I found very hurtful, was when I got to this country, I found that people, children especially, were very, very cruel. They were very, very cruel. And I was like, but I'm speaking English. What is it? I'm speaking English with you. Why is it that you are now tormenting me because of the way I sound? And they used to make me say things over and over again because they just wanted to mock at me. They wanted to laugh at me. And that for me was very hurtful. And so it took me a long time to be able to get over that. It took me a very long time because as a result of that, they may look at it as being insignificant. But that thing hurt me, because what happened after that is the fact that I decided that I wanted to fit in. I was desperate to fit in. I really wanted to fit in because I didn't want to be mocked at anyone. I didn't want to be that source of ridicule from anybody anymore. So accent, what does accent do? I give you another example. International Women's Day, which is coming up very soon in March, which is next month, so starting from tomorrow actually. I went to an event last year and there was a lady there who read her book. But before she started reading her book, she was almost apologizing to we in the audience, saying, oh, please, my accent is not good, so please do bear with me as I do this. But we said to her, go along, we can hear you, just carry on. And she started to read her book, and her story was so sympathetic in a sense that This is a woman who was, I can't remember where she was from, but she was doing well in her homeland, in her hometown, with her husband and children. But because war broke out in her hometown, she had to flee the hometown. But she didn't flee with her husband and children. She was only able to flee with her children because her husband was captured and killed. This is the woman who had never spoken English in her life before, because she didn't feel the need to, because she was communicating well in her own mother tongue in her own country. She never envisaged that this would happen to her. But she found herself in Europe, not just in Europe, here, right here in London, not able to speak in English. And she had 2 young children at the time, because she's been here for a while. And this is someone who was already approaching her late 30s, early 40s. So it's like she's starting her life again without the husband, without the father to her children. Was it scary? Yes, it can be scary for anybody, regardless of the age. She came here having to start all over again. But eventually, as she began to get into the system, eventually she went to school. She decided she needed to learn this English so that she'd be able to communicate better. She went to school to learn English. But you know what? The thing that really touched me with this lady is the fact that she didn't just stop there. She got that bug from going to school, and she decided that she needed to better herself even further. She went on to study something else. I can't remember exactly what she went to study, but she went on to study something else. And the reason why she was there was because of the fact that she wrote a book. She wrote a book about her life and every experiences that she'd been through. And especially the fact that the man that she loved, the man that was her husband for however many years they'd been married up until that time that he was killed, the man that was her father to her children, was taken away, brutally taken away and killed. But this woman stood in front of us, bearing in mind she was apologizing to us at the onset, and read her book, and the whole room was silent. You could drop a pin and you could hear the pin landing on the ground. She read her book and she carried the whole audience with us as she was reading her book. And so I say to myself, the power of accent. This is someone, as she said, I forgot to say, she was a journalist. So that would mean that she was always in front of people on the TV screen, communicating with people. So at least you would say that her confidence level was high. But this is somebody that has come from that to a brand new land that she's never been to before. And all of a sudden, she's having to pick herself up from the very beginning. And not only that, not only is she having to pick herself up, but she's also having to learn a new language. So you can imagine what's happening to her confidence. Her confidence was being knocked. Her confidence, her self-esteem was on the ground. And so as I sat there listening to this woman, I was immediately taken aback to my time when I came to this country. I could speak English quite okay, but I just didn't sound like them. And as a result of not sounding like my fellow peers in school, I was being ridiculed. Why does my accent have to be the source of ridicule? And that's a question I want to throw out there to each and every one of us. Why does our accent have to be the source of ridicule? Because by doing that, what you're doing to the individual is you're knocking that person, no matter how confident that person may say he or she is. It knocks you because it's not something that happens on a one-off and then you say, that's it. But when it's happening on a constant, bearing in mind, I told you I was there for 6 months. And for 6 months, my life was a living hell. All because of my accent. And as a child, that sense of wanting to belong, wanting to be part of the group, wanting to not to be left out is there. So it was not just unique to me, it's unique to any child or anybody. That's why we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to commune with other people. We're meant to be with people. And have that relationship with people, whatever way the relationship comes out to be. But we're meant to have that relationship with people. And that is what led me to start this program, this my TV program with accent. What about your accent? Your accent is how you sound. Your accent is unique to you because it identifies where you are from. Your accent is you, how you interpret who you are, how you explain yourself to the world. Not explain, but how you demonstrate yourself to the world. That's who you are. So why then are we forced to drop that because we want to fit in with what society says is the norm? And not only that, people are also being pulled down. We're also being made to feel as if we're the scum of the earth. We're no good. Why is that? That is something I want to put out there to each and every one of us. My accent held me back for so long. My accent caused me not to put myself forward because I did not want to be mocked at. Even when the questions were being asked in the classroom, I want to put my hands up because I was like, if I speak, they will laugh at me. But they laughed at me regardless. But being a child, I didn't have that mentality to say, just do it anyways. My accent caused me to desire to forge another identity in order for me to fit in with the group. My accent caused me to enter a period of my life that I never want to go back to, and I won't even wish this on my worst enemy. When I find myself pregnant in secondary school, as a young lady, as a teenager, this is what happened as a result, direct result of being bullied because of my accent. So I want to say to you, my dear listener, what is it that you are doing to people around you? What is it that you are saying to people around you or to your family members that you think it's funny or it's not, it's harmless banter? But it's not harmless banter. It's hurtful. People, because of the strength and the faith I have in God, He has kept me all along. But many people who are not strong enough may decide that, you know what, there's no point in living any longer. And that's how you find suicide rates amongst the young people and equally amongst the older people. What are we doing to people? What are we doing to people that we think is a harmless joke, is a harmless banter, that it doesn't matter? Whereas it matters a lot. We need to be considerate about what people go through. So I just want to paint a very clear picture for us. A young lady coming from another country, a young lady who has been used to standing in front of her peers and teaching them, a young lady who doesn't have any problem in putting her hands up when the teacher asks a question and says, "Sir, miss, I know the answer." A young lady who doesn't have any issues speaking with adults around her, confidently speaking with adults around her. All of a sudden, this same young lady travels to another land. And then what happens? This same young lady that was always forthcoming, always shining, always bright, always bubbly, begins to withdraw to herself because she's like, I dare not speak because me speaking will cause people to laugh at me. I just want to pause here and get you to think about this. Barefoot Conversations. I had this, it was my coach that gave me this name, Barefoot Conversations with Magdalene. And when she said it, it just sounded so right. It was just that the penny just dropped and it was like, there, yes, this is it. I want us to focus on the bare. Don't look at the foot, but the image there, you see me sitting down cross-legged with a bare foot. That's the image. That's the branding. But I want to focus on the bare, being real, being naked. So I'm coming to you naked, not naked physically, but I'm just bearing it real to you so that we understand the damage that we're doing to ourselves and to people around us, whether we're children or whether we're adults. We can't say that, oh, it's harmless banter. It's not harmless banter. It's affecting the lives of people. I wrote all these things I'm saying to you. I wrote this in my book, From Shame to Strength, Music Saved Me. It's on Amazon. But I decided that I needed to breathe more life to it, because I find that in my capacity as the CEO of Music Relief Foundation, working with young people, things haven't changed. The language may have changed a bit, but the way that young people relate with each other hasn't really changed for my time. I'm 36 now. I'm talking how over 20 years ago. Things haven't changed because they still relate to themselves in a very derogatory way. They still pull themselves down. They still mock at them because this person doesn't happen to fit in to the status quo, to the norm that is supposedly acceptable within society. And I use that word supposedly because we must understand, when I spoke earlier, that your accent is your identity. It's you. It's unique. It's who you are, and it identifies where you're from. I made an example of that woman, but her situation is the fact that she did not speak English, so she had to learn a brand new language. I didn't have to learn English. I was already speaking English, but the difference was I just did not sound like my peers. And as a result of that, I was being mocked at. What do you do when you find yourself in such a situation? What do you do when you find that you that used to be always coming out, you're the bright star, always wanting to shine and speak, all of a sudden feel like, what's the point? I don't want to do this anymore. What do you do? What do you do when you find yourself wishing that you never step foot in this country? When you say to yourself, rightly or wrongly, take me back to where I'm coming from. As a parent, what do you say to that child? As an adult, what do you do? Do you end your life because of that? Some may. People like me didn't. But I went for the hard way. I went for the hard way. I finished primary school in July of that same year, 92. And I said to myself, that's it. That's it. It's done. It's done. This trouble, this nightmare, it's over. But little did I know that the best was yet to come in secondary school. When nobody, I need us to understand the way the mind of a child operates. You are in school and it comes to break time and lunchtime. Nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to hang around with you. It's like you are a leper. You have this incurable disease, this contagious disease that everybody's running away from you. And what's that disease? Your accent. Come on, guys. It's something that we must realize that it's happening. It's real. It's real. It's real. This life, it's so real. People are suffering. So what about your accent? Be like that lady I spoke about. Or be like me and say, you know what? But you must come to that understanding. I was just speaking to a friend of mine this morning. She was giving me some great news this morning. I was so excited, so excited for her. And I said, you know what? If I can turn the hands of time, knowing what I know now to back then, so many things will be different. I would do things in a different manner. So many things will be different. And I know for a fact, because of the fact that I have gone through a lot, but the resilience within me has not allowed me to just fall down and die, because of the fact that once God has given us a life to see a brand new day, we have to keep pushing. And that's what the conversation I was having with my friend just before I got ready and came to the studio to start this. It's time. It's time for us to say to ourselves, you know what? I can't allow what's happening externally to influence the way I feel internally. But that's a very bold statement to make. And for you to make that statement, you have to be at a place that there's enough substance within you that you're able to stand. That's why I call myself a transformation expert in life and in business. because I have been transformed within my own life. I've gone through hell and back and still standing. I have been transformed. I've seen what has happened to me. I've seen what have happened to people, my clients, either the young people or the women and men that happen to come my way as well, that I coach. And I said, there's something there in the transformation and the renewal of our mind, but it has to start from within. That's why I started this hashtag, transformation is the new norm. And then I started another hashtag, transformation is an inside out job. And then I said another one, make the shift. You have to, it has to start from within you. You have to be intentional in making the shift. I was invited to speak at a women's event on Saturday. While I was preparing for it, something dropped in my mind and I had to just do a meme and I put it out there on social media. I said, I can't remember word for word, but what I do remember, I said, the substance of information that you have within you will help you to build your confidence. The substance of information. So as I hold this iPad here, I can just hold it and it can be bare and there's nothing in there, but it looks small, but the power that's within this iPad is able to carry it and it's able to do that which I need it to do. And that's what I'm saying. The substance of information that you have within you will enable you to stand and push forward even when you feel like withdrawing, even when you feel like, what's the point? I don't want to do this anymore. It's vital that you empower yourself, you equip yourself, not only with the wealth of knowledge, but with people around you who are not perfect, because we are all human beings, so none of us are perfect, but with people around you who are positive influence around you, so that when you feel down, when you're feeling deflated, when you're feeling like as if, what's the point? You have people that you can call on to, or they can call you at the click of a finger and just say one or two things into your spirit and you see yourself being coming alive. Does that mean that that situation turns around? No, but you as a person that need to do certain things, you're able to stand up, you're able to come alive and do what you need to do. So Barefoot Conversations with Magdalene, it's a transformational platform to speak life, not only to you, the listener, but to myself. I won't come to you and talk to you about things that are external to me. I will come to you and talk to you about things that have happened to me and how I, through the grace of God, because God plays a big thing, major influence in my life, have been able to go through it or going through it to where I am right now. My time is coming to an end, but I just want to end with this. Don't give up where you are right now. Keep pushing forward. Where you are right now, keep pushing forward. If I felt that there was no point, I won't be here today. My children won't have a mother. My husband won't have a wife who is me, who would have somebody else, but not me. Don't give up where you are today. Keep pushing forward. Let's just cover some house rules. The show comes up at 11 o'clock every Tuesday mornings. So it's a 30-minute show. It's live, so you can come on air and send your messages. It's a 30-minute show every Tuesday morning. So today was the launch of it, and I just felt so much within me that I needed to talk about accent because I know how it's affecting people, their self-esteem and their confidence. Once you don't have those, you're not able to pursue after what you need to pursue. On next week's show, I'm so excited. I'm really excited. I needed to join in with my excitement. On next week's show, I'm going to be talking about ladies and gentlemen. So it's not just a ladies show. It's for ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be talking about who are you? Who are you? That's the topic. Who are you? I don't want to go into right now. I'm tempted. It's always almost coming out of my mouth, almost spilling over what I want to say. But I know I just want to put it there and just leave it there. Who are you? That's a question. It's a big question. And sometimes we just glance over and feel like, oh, I know who I am. I'm such and such and such. No. I'm going to be going deep. And I want you to be here with me next week, Tuesday. I'll send the link out again. Next week, Tuesday morning, God willing, at 11 a.m., your girl Magdalene, Barefoot Conversations. Who are you? Until next time, you have a great day. You have a great week. You have a great weekend. I love you guys, and I love to see you here. I would love to see you here next week. I can't end without singing. You know, I'm a musician. That's who I am. That's who I am. So I'm just going to end it with this. Hey guys, thank you for being here on my show, Barefoot Conversations. I'm original, I'm me, I'm authentic. You either love me or you loathe me. That doesn't add to my life, neither does it take anything away from my life. I've gone past that stage. This is just Magdalene being Magdalene. Until next week, who are you? Have a great day. Bye for now. Thank you very much.